If you're using Zepbound or Mounjaro or thinking about it, this week's GLP-1 news actually matters for you. In the next few minutes, I'll walk you through the new Zepbound pen options, fresh FDA warnings about compounded GLP-1 meds, and a multi-billion-dollar move toward the future of oral weight loss drugs. This is your weekend wrap-up, where I sort through the headlines and give you the parts that could actually affect your prescription, your wallet, and your long-term plan, with the added benefit of no drama and no doom scrolling. So, today we've got 4 quick stories. First, Lilly's new multi-dose Zepbound KwikPen and what it might change for people already on the medication. Second, the FDA turning up the heat on risky compounded GLP-1 products and what that could mean if you've gone that route. Third, the ongoing arms race between Lilly and Novo Nordisk, with trial results that keep pushing how far these meds can go. And finally, a huge bet on oral GLP-1s that could make these drugs a lot easier to take down the road. Quick reminder before we dive in, this video isn't medical advice. It's me sharing my own research and personal choices as a guy on Zepbound. Talk with your own doctor about what's right for you, and if you like staying up to date on this GLP-1 world without the hype, please consider subscribing so you don't miss the next update. All right, so let's start out with that new Zepbound pen. Lilly just rolled out a new multi-dose Zepbound KwikPen, and if you ask me, if you're old enough to remember, do you remember those pens that they had when we were in school, and they had the 4 different colors, and you would click on one side? That's kind of the shape of what these look like. So each pen holds 4 doses or a whole month's worth of medicine in the one pen. It uses a dial-a-dose mechanism like you'd find on an insulin pen. Essentially, what you do is you have the base and then you have different needle tips. So each week you affix a new needle tip and you do your injection, and then you get rid of that tip and you put the pen back in the refrigerator. It's perfect for people who travel or who hate having to have a full drawer of single-use pens. It may be something that's right for you. Pricing ranges from about $299 to $449 per month. It's right on par with the vials that we talked about before, and that depends on the dose size. That's in line with European pricing, and it's lower than Lilly's earlier direct-to-patient prices. Right now, it's available through Lilly's self-pay journey program. So why does it matter? If this is like going from an individual ketchup packet to the whole squeeze bottle. Medicine's the same, it's just the experience is easier and it's more streamlined. But while Lilly is making things more convenient, the FDA is getting a lot stricter about something else. The FDA is turning up the heat on the compounded versions of the GLP-1 drugs because the shortages are easing. When these first came out and they were first approved for weight loss, they were hard to get a hold of, and so that's why compounding was allowed to take place. There were not enough drugs on the market, but there was demand, so they were allowed to do it. So now that the shortages are gone, there's fewer excuses for mass compounding. The Central Maryland Poison Center saw a 1,500% increase in calls about compounded GLP-1s since 2020. Some compounded products aren't real semaglutide or tirzepatide, or they aren't dosed correctly. They can be unpredictable, which can lead to severe side effects like nausea, vomiting, and dehydration. It's kind of like buying a sports car online that looks right until you find out the engine is from a lawnmower. So if you're using a compounded version because it's cheaper, this is the moment to maybe double check the quality, the ingredients, and your risks with your doctor. Safety should never take a backseat to savings. Story number 3 is Lilly versus Novo, the weight loss arms race. So meanwhile, the big rivalry over here between Lilly and Novo Nordisk continues to heat up. In a head-to-head trial, Novo's experimental combination cagrisema, it's kind of weird to say, but it achieved about a 23% weight loss. Lilly's tirzepatide or Zepbound achieved a 25.5% weight loss in patients. Both numbers are impressive, but that small difference matters in a competitive market. These drugs are life-changing for many people with obesity, so there's intense pressure on both companies to improve results reduce side effects, and make treatments more accessible and affordable. So, for those of us in the real world, this is kind of like watching two car companies race to build the safest, fastest electric truck. The winner is, well, honestly, the driver. More competition means better products and more options for you and I, the people that take them. So, story number 4, Novo and Vivtex team up for the oral future of weight loss. So, there's a huge move that you probably won't feel today, but it may change everything later. After its injectable stumbled a little bit, as we discussed in the last story, to Novo Nordisk, they announced a $2.1 billion partnership with Vivtex. What makes Vivtex special is its GI Oris platform, which scientists sometimes call a GI tract on a chip. That phrase isn't about computer microchips, it's about recreating the human gut in a tiny lab. I had to research this because I didn't quite understand it, but to understand why, remember that most GLP-1 medicines are larger molecules. When you swallow them, stomach acid and digestive enzymes break them apart. So drug makers, they normally use needles to get them directly into our bloodstream. Vivtex platform tackles this by taking thin slices of real intestine and keeping them alive in a robotic system. Kind of picture a miniaturized stomach and intestine assembly line on a workbench. The system can run high throughput tests, trying thousands of different pill coatings and formulations per day to see actually which ones survive digestion and pass through the gut wall. MIT professor Robert Langer, who helped develop this technology, notes that studying the model systems that mimic intestinal absorption, thousands of different versions of a drug in just hours. It then uses the computer algorithms to sift through the results and predict which approaches are likely to work. For GLP-1 drugs, this matters because peptides and proteins are usually poorly absorbed when swallowed. If GI Oris can identify a formulation that protects these molecules long enough to get them into the bloodstream, it could turn today's injections into simple pills. So why that matters to you and I, it could make treatments more convenient and widen access across the board. So what does all this mean if you're on Zepbound or Mounjaro or any other weight loss drug or just watching from the sidelines? In the future, expect more pen options and dosing formats. Convenience is a big battleground for these companies. Expect more headlines about safety and crackdowns. Unregulated products carry real risks. Expect big moves toward oral meds over the next few years because companies are betting billions on it. For me, I'm still focused on the basics. I work on hitting my protein, using the meds as a tool, and rewriting my future 1 week at a time. Medication can be a powerful ally, but it's not a magic wand. So just a quick reminder, this video isn't medical advice. It's me sharing my own research and personal choices. Always talk to your own doctor about what's right for you. So if you like staying on top of the GLP-1 news without the doom scrolling, please subscribe. I post these weekend wrap-ups plus deeper dives on Wednesday and Sundays. Remember, it's not just about the weight, it's about the rewrite. I'll see you in the next one. Have a good rest of your week.